Hello YouTube and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 House of Mordecius, the only YouTube series where you can watch a bald man try to take over Ireland and the rest of Europe, and maybe one day, the entire world. If you like this video, please make sure to like it, please make sure to comment and let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 and House of Mordecius, and make sure to subscribe so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. We have a couple payments we could demand. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe we want to take advantage of those. Maybe we'll wait on that just in case we want to use those hooks for something else later. But we'll keep those in our back pocket. We're also waiting for a couple of our guests to arrive for our hunt, in which we will be, if I remember correctly, hunting down like a legendary boar of some kind. Correct, a white boar. Diarmid assembles the party. The sun rises over the camp in the hills near Eanach-Urmhuman. My many gamekeepers and fleshers have been poring over the area for tracks and fumes. They haven't found anything, but I can feel it. The elusive creature is out there, somewhere nearby. I'm not sure why Diarmid Neal is the person gathering our people, but thank you, Diarmid. The beast will be mine. So we have a 24.5 success chance. A 24.5% success chance. The peril is dangerous, but the prestige will be impressive. And just to reiterate, this will probably be the last hunt that we send Drognath I out on, because he's getting up there in age, and well, it's probably not good to keep sending him out on dangerous hunts like this. So yeah, we're gonna see how this hunt goes. We have an event called Hunt Wildflowers. And Chieftain Drognath II compliments Male Bersail Neal, and Male Bersail gained 15 opinion of Chieftain Drognath II. My personal physician, Cassane, has dismounted to squat in the mud, carefully examining a aster flower. He appears to have lost all interest in the hunt. High Chieftain, look at all the useful herbs and flowers here. This one can soothe aches. This one aids a broken clavicle. This one wards off measles. It's funny because Bishop Cassane is my best friend, and it's just funny to imagine that as these two men just get older, they begin to hate each other more and more. In a cute way, though, not in a, like, they're gonna, like, kill each other way. But the only way we can increase our success chance here is by telling Cassane to get back on his horse and to not, to leave the flowers alone. It slightly increases our hunter trait experience. It gains us 35 prestige. The success chance goes up, but Cassane loses 10 opinion of us. But again, he's our best friend and he has 100 opinion of us. So it's really bickering more than anything. And so our success chance right now is 39.5%. And we would like to see that raise a little bit before we take our shot at that wild boar. We're going to order Cassane to get back on his horse. As mean as it seems, it's just kind of what we got to do right now. But yeah, we're heading into 892 AD. We're on, we're kind of in the middle of January here of 892 as we move into the year. The goals right now basically are to complete this hunt and hopefully get a kill and build up our military for the time being, because we may be declaring war soon. Hunt far from people. Male Corgus shared knowledge with Chieftain Drognath II. Chieftain Drognath II MacDrognath of Ulster gained 10 opinion of Male Corgus, and slightly increases the hunter trait experience. Away from the others, I came across a cottage, housing one of the most beautiful people I have ever laid my eyes on. She has invited me to stay and rest, and I am surprised by how much I have in common with a simple peasant. Must you return to the hunt so soon, my lord? I have never met a man like you before. Well, if we stayed with her, our success chance goes down, and we lose some stress, but we don't have any stress right now. We're completely stress-free. If we refuse her, we don't lose any success chance, and we gain resisted advances for 5 years, which gains us some opinion from theocratic rulers of our same faith. I don't know if there really is any. Insularists? I'm not sure if any other rulers share that faith, but we gain 50 piety. And at the end of the day, realistically, our goal here is the hunt. We can't afford for that success chance to go down any lower, so we will be turning Marigrid down. Marigrid, you're beautiful, you're fun, it's nice hanging out with you and talking with you, but I have a boar to hunt. Hunt the white boar. Male Bersail Neal compliments Dioter Varde, who is our guest from House Varde. Dioter Varde gained 15 opinion of Male Bersail. Nice, very good. I am riding ahead of the group when the hill suddenly grows still. The silence is almost palpable. Even the sound of my horse's hooves seems to melt away. Just as I am about to turn back to find the others, I glimpse it ahead of me, blurry as a dream. A boar as white as snow. The rumors were true. Let's see if we can bag this thing. Hunt the white droppings. Salic Dalbirn's abilities impressed. Salic McDougall Dalbirn gained 35 prestige. Slightly increased the hunter trait. Every attending hunter... something. I don't know. I am making progress tracking the legendary white boar. Its tracks lead me off the commonly tread path before fading into complete obscurity. I feel despair overtake my heart, but suddenly spot something that takes my breath away. Droppings of purest white like nothing I've ever seen before. If the beast itself is white, surely it stands to reason that its droppings are of a similar color. So taking the time to identify them gives me a bit of stress because I'm impatient, but it has a 99% chance of increasing our success chance and gaining us 150 prestige. That seems like the only option to me. It also slightly increases our hunter trait experience, so we will try to identify them. So we correctly identify the droppings, success chance goes up, we gain the prestige. Very, very nice. King Alfonso III and Rune Altklut bonded over hunting, so they gained opinion of each other. That's great. I didn't know that King Alfonso III was a guest of ours on this particular hunt. Interesting. I follow the beast's tracks into the valleys as though in a trance, an almost unnatural silence hanging heavy over the world. High Chieftain, there you are! The sudden shout startles me. Rune and the rest of my party have caught up. So the hunt failed. That's really the only outcome here. And our options are basically to just say, ah, dang, it got away, and every time, or every year that goes by that we don't hunt down this beast, we gain stress. We can yell at everyone for kind of startling us and maybe scaring away the boar, but that would make everybody lose opinion of us. We don't want that. Or we can just abandon this entire endeavor, and Earldom of Tama would lose legendary sighting. It would cause a couple other bad things, to be honest. I think in general the best thing here is to just say, you know what, we'll try again some other time. If this is truly to be Drognath the First's last hunt, maybe it stands to reason that this is a hunt that takes place over several years, I guess. I don't know. So we'll go with that one. Empty-handed. Everything that could go wrong seemed to do so, but there were silver linings to be found. Ealdred gathers the disappointed party and exhausted hounds for the trip home. The boar indeed eluded us, this time. We did gain a little bit of hunter trait experience, lost 93 stress, gained 3 trait experience in Venator, gained 200 legitimacy, increased our legitimacy level to ordained, gained 281 prestige. Every participating guest gained 140 prestige. So it wasn't without merit, it just didn't really give us the outcome that we desired. Let us leave this adventure behind for now, and we will finish the hunt. So in terms of declaring our next war, I was kind of planning on going to war with Connacht here, simply because that is sort of our big, I would say it's our big rival here in Ireland. But in terms of just what is smart to do right now, it kind of feels like going to war with this guy who owns the Duchy of Gwynedd, which is this kind of, if you can see, this kind of chunk of land north of our little sort of chunk of Wales that we've taken. He's very, very weak and he has no allies, and it only costs 120 prestige to declare war on him. At times like this, though, we would, of course, like to expand further into Ireland to make more of it ours. I really think that the smart move here is to rally our troops probably somewhere in Ceredigion. Yes, I suppose we'll have them rally here in Ceredigion, and we will. This guy, Prince Cadell of Gwynedd. Sorry, buddy, but I'm coming for your duchy. Declare war. Let's raise our armies here. Lord Finn, you are, of course, our kind of delegated commander here. He's also from Defed, so it kind of makes sense that he would be the one commanding this army here. Let's have you go ahead and march on the barony of Harlech. See how many troops we can muster up here. We can call on our ally, High Chieftain Branda, but let's see if we can get away with not doing that. Just because it costs a little bit of prestige and not really sure that we're going to need it. Sway religious convictions. I have gotten an idea in my attempts to align Prince Bishop Artgal to my interests. With the right arguments, I may be able to convince him that I am acting not merely in my own interest, but in the interest of the Lord himself. So we have a 90% chance here of convincing Artgal that we are on a mission from God, as it were. We would gain 75 prestige, and Prince Bishop Artgal would gain 50 opinion of us. We're going to try that. And we convinced him. Very good. Let's take a look at our vassals here. It really looks like we are on good terms, for the most part, with all of our vassals. We, of course, have our son, who controls, just to kind of lay out who we've got in control of where for you guys. We've got Chieftain Drognath, who Chieftain Drognath II, I should clarify, who controls Ulster, the northern tip of Ireland, or the northeastern tip. We've got Lord Airlaid here in Ceredigion, the land that our armies are currently marching through. We've got Lord Finn, who controls Defed, the sort of southern portion of our Welsh expansion state, and Prince Bishop Artgal, who of course controls Athlone. And so far, they're all more or less on good terms with me. Again, for the most part. We have mustered an army, the first army of Ceredigion of 2,700 troops. The White Boar, riding through the wetlands of Thomond, we come upon a twist in the road, and I see it once more, shimmering in the sun. The White Boar. I turn to alert the others, but when I look back, the boar is already gone. It taunts me. I gain 19 stress. That damn boar will be the death of me. Oh, speaking of the death of me, I gained the consumption trait. Oh boy, High Chieftain Drognath does not look good. Under the weather, our passage through this dratted swamplands has been fraught, fraying nerves and energy as we slog through the cloying damp, swatting bugs and trying to stay dry. I begin to feel weak, lagging behind the rest of the party when I normally set the pace. There is something wrong. Thank Jesus my personal physician is here. So Drognath is sick, and according to this little icon here, we are at death's doorstep. So we might need to start getting our affairs in order here. Now this little icon here does not always mean you are like going to die in, you know, the next few days. It can kind of sometimes take a little while. So, but you really need to be careful with like what you do in the next few moments. So we'll acknowledge that. We'll come to terms with the fact that it's probably not looking good for us. Consumption a little brighter. Kassane brought a croaking bucket to my chambers and told me to expose my upper body. He grabbed a toad, gutted it with deft hands, and proceeded to place the still twitching carcass on my chest. He continued until the bucket was empty and my torso was covered. My toad treatment turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms are alleviated and the world seems a little brighter. Kassane, you've always been one for unorthodox treatments, and it's paid off. For God's sake, I'm only 52. I'm too young to die. Excellent work, Kassane. We gained reduced disease symptoms. So ideally that should prolong the dying for at least a little while. But we'll see what happens. Drognath certainly does not look good. So one thing that we have talked about doing in the past is sort of securing our line of succession a little bit more by making sure that Chieftain Drognath II inherits as much land as is possible, before Chieftain Drognath dies. So if we look here, Chieftain Drognath II is currently in position to take over the High Chiefdom of Munster, at least in title. And so he would be, if you see all the grayed out land, the land that is being grayed out when I mouse over High Chiefdom of Munster, he would sort of be the de facto ruler of that entire chunk of land with vassals and whatnot. The Earldom of Desmond, which if you'll remember, used to be called the Chiefdom of Mordecius, I believe, or the Earldom of Mordecius. That is our home base. That's our southern tip of Ireland where we started at. He'll obviously be inheriting that as well. Here's where things start to get tricky. Thomond is currently going to be, the line of succession dictates that Tomas, my second eldest son, will be the one inheriting Thomond. So we're going to go down here to Tomas. We're going to take a look at him. My young boy, this bold fool. We are going to do something that we've talked about a little bit, and we're going to ask him to take the vows. He's 15 years old. We're going to ask him to essentially like join the clergy so that he no longer is in the line of succession, at least for that particular claim. Right now, he's only 65% in favor of accepting, but we're going to use our hook on him, the fact that I'm his dad, to sort of force him to accept. We lose 60 legitimacy, but at this point, you know, at this late stage in life, it's really not the worst thing in the world. So, Tomas will be moving to stay at Prince Bishop Artgal's court, our vassal. He gains 1 level of devotion. He gains the trait promise to join the clergy, but he loses 10 opinion of us for 10 years. But now is not the time to be worrying about that. Kassane gains 25 opinion of us, as if it could get any higher. And Pope Leo V, who of course, as we all know, is the big pie in the sky commander of everything, he gains 10 opinion of us as well. So, costs 350 piety, and of course that 60 legitimacy. We will ask Tomas to take the vows. And our third eldest, if we'll come down here and look, is our boy Constance. Constance, similarly, is set to inherit the earldom of Enos in the northwest of Munster. So we'll go to Constance and we will similarly ask him to take the vows. He might accept at a 93%, but again, we will be using our guilt trip hook to make sure that he accepts. And he gains pretty much everything else that Tomas did as well. Another 350 piety spent. Ask him to take the vows. And working our way down the line here, the earldom of Ormond is set to be inherited by our fourth eldest son, Cyrus McDrognath. Let's take a look at young Cyrus here, our content thinker. At 11 years old, we can also similarly ask him to take the vows. We don't even need to use the hook on him. He 100% accepts. Maybe he's just particularly faithful. We'll ask him to take the vows. And lastly, the earldom of Ossory is going to be inherited by our son Olsen, our 10-year-old rational follower, who is also a twin. If I'm not mistaken, he is the twin of Sier, our 10-year-old daughter, right? Oh no, you know what? His twin, Samuel McDrognath, died at age 2 of being sickly. It's crazy that I literally have had so many children that and so many of them have died that it's easy to forget kind of where they're at in life and what's been going on with them since they were born. With kids in this game, sometimes you set them and forget them, so you have 16 kids and just let them rock. But getting back to the matter at hand, Olsen, you are also, I'm going to ask you to take the vows as well. He too 100% accepts. Oh, we're actually missing 50 piety. Shoot. Well, we'll have to try to gain that very quickly, or else Olsen here might be the only one other than Drognath II to be inheriting land. And so taking a look at Athlone here, the Prince Bishopric of Athlone, because it's been granted to Prince Bishop Artgal, the line of succession will dictate that Athlone will be inherited according to Prince Bishop Artgal's male preference theocratic law. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that like either the Pope or some other religious figure is going to take Athlone once Prince Bishop Artgal dies. We'll have to find out. But yeah, just trying to kind of secure more of our lands for Drognath II as he gets a bit older and we get a little bit closer to death. Making sure that when we die, Drognath II is nice and set up to take over what we have worked so hard to achieve. Constance accepts our call to join the clergy. My dear father, I will answer the call to serve a higher power, and I thank you for setting me on this path of righteousness. I am sure you will serve God well. Thank you, Constance. Tomas as well, going off to answer the call. Cyrus, of course, also accepts. Yeah, hopefully we can get up to that 350 prestige, or excuse me, 350 piety that we need in order to send off our last son to join the clergy. Here on the 6th of March, 892 AD, First Army of Ceredigion makes landfall here at Harlech, and the siege begins. Since it doesn't appear that any armies are coming to attack us, we're going to go ahead and split our army in half, with the other half heading off to Ariery to do battle there. So Flan Cinna is going to stay and continue the siege of Harlech, and Lord Finn will head over to do battle in Ariery. Oh, and we just discovered actually that a small army, the army of Inismon, is heading across the sea to presumably try to attack us here. Let's try to get the first army of Ceredigion to attack them in time. But they've already made quite a bit of progress, so they might be actually getting ready to embark into the ocean here. Nope, we caught them, and the Battle of Inismon is being fought, and they're being absolutely slaughtered. Victory on 30th of March, 892. Go ahead and send our army back down to... Or actually, no, we'll have them siege Aberfraw, since they're already there. So yeah, we completely annihilated that army, and we will continue the attack. Our war score is now up to 50%, which is great. Our courtier comes of age, Ir Agdir, gained the trait Fortune Builder. Sweet! Oh, our prisoner Lorcan died here on the 1st of September. Gonna be honest, I kind of forgot a little bit about that guy. Yeah, I vaguely remember that we weren't able to recruit him, and the person who kind of was in charge of him was not capable of paying his ransom, so there wasn't much we could do besides, you know, throw him in the dungeon. What do you want from me? My hands were tied. Wait, whoa. High Chiefess Samthon is pregnant? Look at Chieftain Drognath. Are you telling me that Chieftain Drognath, at the age of 52 and dying with consumption, is getting lucky with her? I just don't see it, you know? It's not that I don't believe it. I just don't, it's hard to picture. But fair enough. You know, I guess my personal suspicion is that maybe High Chiefess Samthon is doing the old, yeah, of course it's yours, when maybe it belongs to somebody else. But until we have proof of that, there's nothing to be done. I guess, you know, it's not like, you know, 52 is too old to be doing all that, and it's not like Drognath is sterile, he's just sick. But it's like, well, if you're sick, I guess back then they probably didn't know how infectious diseases worked, or like at least they probably didn't know much about it. Tomas comes of age. With his coming of age, my tuition of Tomas is at an end. As an active and enthusiastic child, it is no surprise that Tomas has done well in his studies of war and combat. He has shown great aptitude both in battle tactics and the management of armies. It is a shame that he will never command armies. Yeah, because he's joined the clergy. Look at this strange getup they got with him. He's wearing like monk robes, but then he's also wielding a sword. Well, he gains the trait Skilled Tactician, and he returns to my court. They grow up so fast. Well done, Tomas. Education completed. Tomas McDrognath returned to his employer's court. Wait, isn't that me? Yeah. Okay, so it's just telling me that he got back to my court, I guess. Increased Controlling County task finished. Lord Airlaid of Ceredigion finished his Increased Controlling County Counselor task in Ceredigion. Alright, Airlaid, well, you're looking healthy at your old age of 55. You're a little bit older than me, but you're still looking good, bud. But we have areas that we need to exert a little control over. The places most in need of control appear to be Ossuary. So, yeah, Airlaid, you're gonna get sent over to Ossuary to start maintaining control over there. We may want to have him start training commanders here pretty soon as well, though. Can't very well train the soldiers if he's always off policing the lands that we own. Alright, the Siege of Marianid is over. We got 1 gold from occupying Marianid. We gained some prisoners, or sorry, just 1 prisoner, Susanna, who is a guest of Prince Cadell. And our war score has gone up to 84%, so we're gonna send our troops over here to the barony of Ariery to begin assaulting there. Let's take a look at our prisoner here. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, for I have come to negotiate your release. Or should we ransom her? Nah, we wouldn't get any gold out of it, so let's go ahead and negotiate the release. We recruit her and demand her conversion. Oh, she doesn't like that. Let's gain a weak hook on her. That's fine enough for me. Susanna, welcome to the team. So hoping here we can see the end of the siege in Inismon by the end of the year, so we can fully kind of take control of that area of the map before the 1st of January 893. So we gained our favor hook on Susanna. She has no choice but to accept our conditions for my release, or for her release. Very good, Susanna. Ooh, Cyrus has fallen ill. He's gained the trait Pneumonia. Cyrus, What are you doing, bud? With your bald-ass head. You gotta be careful, bud. Yeah, pneumonia. Pneumonia kills even today in 2026. Imagine here in 892. The siege of Ynys Môn is over. We got 3 gold, and the war is over. We will go ahead and enforce our demands. I don't think I'm going to bother taking a hostage because I guarantee you I will declare war very shortly. If not with this character, with our next character, certainly. So we gained 50 legitimacy, we gained 150 fame. Very good. We're going to enforce our demands. The second Monsterian conquest of the Principality of Gwynedd. Awesome. We'll disband our armies. Oh, and our steward is no longer our steward? I don't know why that's a thing. Yeah, not sure why that's a thing. But no matter, we'll figure that out here in a second. So we're above our domain limit in terms of realms. We need to give away 3 holdings. So what we're gonna do, we honestly might, since Airlaid holds Ceredigion already, we might give him Marianid, so that he kind of has these 2 chunks of land here. So let's do that. Grant him the title. In terms of Eryri, you know, we actually have, similar to Prince Bishop Artgal, we have bishops who are already kind of in power here in these areas. But as we learned with Prince Bishop Artgal, it's not always best to give it over to the church, because then it might stay within the church and not within our house. One option is to give it to Flan Cinna, who has been fairly loyal since he became our champion. He seems like he'd be a decent leader. He is ambitious, which is not always what you want in a vassal, but he looks like he's probably the best choice, and it would improve his opinion of us, which is great. Let's grant him the title, and it's only 1 county, so. Now, for the Earldom of Ynys Môn, who shall we grant this to? Somehow Flan Cinna's opinion of us went down. I don't really know how that's possible. We are quarreling with House Neil, so that could be why. Well, I was gonna give him more land, but he's so mad at us right now that I feel like it might not be the best idea. So interestingly enough, even though he's very low rank, Shamaria might actually be a good vassal. We've had a very good relationship with Shamaria, and though he is lowborn, he's not the same culture or religion as us. He's just a good guy, in my opinion. We would lose him as our master of the hunt, I believe, at least. I could be wrong about that. But I think he's the best guy for the job, and he's a very skilled individual. Shamaria, you are now the owner of Ynys Môn. Grant the title. So Shamaria has become our vassal, which means we will have to find another master of the hunt. I don't think we need them right this second, because Drognath's probably not sticking around for much longer. But look at that. Look at how much bigger Munster is now on the western seaboard here of Wales or the UK. The war is over, and we have granted off our lands. We now find ourselves with a vacant steward position. Again, not really sure how that happened, but it happens to the best of us. Let's take a look at who would be the best at the position. Well, here's something interesting. If we were to take Airlaid and reassign him to our steward position, he's a little bit better at that than he is at being a marshal. And plus, he's getting a little bit older. Let's take him out of the field of battle. And who do we plug in as our marshal? Well, we plug in good old Lord Flan Cinna MacMail Secnail of Eryri. He hates us, and for that, we'll extend our hand and say, take this position. We're going to switch schemes to trying to sway him. Start the scheme. He's much better at being a marshal than Airlaid was. Airlaid gets taken off the field of battle, and hopefully Lord Flan Cinna, well, maybe his opinion goes up of us a little bit. Very, very good. You know, we could modify Flan Cinna's contract, but at this point, I don't want to change too much. Probably not for the best. And I'm wondering, well, you know what? I'm going to hold off on declaring another war just until the beginning of next year. Let's just give it a couple of days and see how our changes that we've made kind of influence everything. Clairshen has left his council position and our court. He's now wandering. Why did he do that? I don't really know. He's got a wandering spirit, I suppose, and he's going on a little soul search journey. Who knows? But look at that, baby. Munster continues to expand. The cheese will rule all. Here we are, 31st of December, 892. Lots of big developments this year. Drognath is sick, possibly dying. A war declared and then won. Munster expanded and some lands divvied up. What will become of it in 893? Well, you'll just have to tune in next time and find out. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you like the video, please make sure to like it. Please make sure to comment and let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 and House of Mordecius, and make sure to subscribe so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Go over to the Twitch, follow over there, follow on TikTok and on Blue Sky, and I will see you next time.